what's the word? Non-disclosure agreements.
Yeah.
That both parties have signed.
Yeah.
So if you're another party,
Yeah.
how does that work? If you're seeing our business plans.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you that. So
yeah.
We are chartered accountants. We're guided by the ethics of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales. Anything that we see or talk to with a client or a prospective client within 4 walls stays within those 4 walls. That is a promise and a guarantee. Okay, you know, whether or not you sign an NDA.
Dave, you good to kick off? I'm just going to let the latecomers.
We're good to go then.
So yeah,
if you're okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, thanks everyone for coming. Sort of done introductions we go through, but just for clarity for everyone in the room. My name's Nathan, and this is Dave, and we are from a company called Blue Sky. We are chartered accountants based up in the northeast of England, in a little small town called North Shields, just about 10 miles east of Newcastle, on the Northumberland coast. And yeah, the idea today is we're basically going to run through pretty basic levels, business plan, forecasts, and what that means for your pitch deck. As a quick sort of agenda, Dave will do a little bit of background to exactly who us, so you know who's talking to you, and you haven't just got 2 northern blokes standing up chatting rubbish. We'll run through a quick overview of what we're going to talk through, but it's basically going to revolve around 3 main areas, which is the overall business plan, your forecasts, and then bringing them two together into your pitch deck, which is really the sort of concise, 10, 20 or so slides that you're going to sit in front of an potential investor with. It's not a one-size-fits-all type of thing, so while we've tried to make it quite general for the slides for the purpose of the presentation, we appreciate that it's going to be quite tailored, and every business plan is to everyone's business. So please ask questions throughout, challenge us. If there's anything that we think we're saying and you're thinking, well, hang on, how does this relate to me, or what might I do different, bring it up. We have allocated quite a bit of time for questions. If it's a quick answer, we'll run through it there and then, so I do advise just please ask as we go along, and at the end we'll have time for sort of questions and answers at the end.
Yeah. Cheers, Nathan. So, as he says, yeah, we're two random blokes from the north of England. How does that work then? So we're a chartered accountancy practice. We specialise with tech and digital businesses, and we work with a few accelerators, so this is a kind of space that we're comfortable in. We're down in London every month. Anyway, we've got quite a few clients down here, and quite a few relationships down here. I'm a co-founder, which means I started a business as well. So we were a startup, and now we're a scale-up, and all those emotions that you're feeling now, be it terror, euphoria, hope, fears, whatever, I've been there and done that as well. And all I can tell you is the emotions don't change, just the scale of them do, and it's a bit of a road. Starting and growing a business is a bit like that. We're not a tech business, but we use tech. So we are Xero's current UK mid-sized firm of the year. We're Xero specialists as an accountancy practice. If you kind of ignore the fact that I've got this because Nathan's nicked my laptop, we run a paperless operation, so we can support 400 businesses nationwide without anybody needing to send us a bit of paper. And we have no paper storage facilities in the office. We live in an old converted pub, which is brilliant. We do have a beer fridge. So we work as a little bit like us as well. There's 22 of us. As you can see, we're not suited and booted. We don't do that because you guys tend not to do that either. The kind of dress for the audience that we've got.
Sweet.
Oh, sorry, next bit as well. So just before we start, we just want to check where you are on your journey. Has anybody started a business before? Has anybody raised money for a business before? Has anybody successfully grown a business before?
What is the definition of successful?
Success is what's in your head. Have you learned some lessons? Have you made some money? Okay, that's cool. So you've been on the journey a little bit, and that's fine. And you'll never know it all. So this is the key thing. So again, with what you take from today, you'll not remember everything you see. You'll not remember everything you hear. Just try and take some key messages away as you do. With everything else, I can guarantee you that as you're driving through life, never mind business, you're just going to learn something new every day anyway. There we go.
Next one, cheers Dave. So, quick overview. So, 3 main areas that we said: business plan, forecast, and your pitch deck. So, business plan, we'll look at how, what, and why you need to plan. We look at the effects that your business plan and focuses it has internally, as well as externally. We'll then touch on the forecast. Why do you need to have a good forecast as part of your business plan? How do you basically build one from scratch? And then, like I say, final bit is the pitch deck, and it's basically bringing it all together to take out a potential business. So then, how, what, and why for a business plan? 2 main reasons. It's very important for your strategy, and it's very important for your culture. It is a very cliched question, but the best starting point is to think, where do you want to be in 12 months? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Why we're starting up this business? We're going for an IPO, they're stinking rich, maybe going for an exit privately, stinking rich again, or we're going to go for a self-sustainable business, probably still quite rich. This is all going to have an effect on your business plan and how you tackle your first 5 years. The analogy we always use is it's like a roller coaster. You've got your brilliant idea, you've got your bag in, you're sitting on it, you're waiting to set off, all your friends and family are waving off, you're ready to go. Take the slow climb, starting off slow, you're at the top, and for want of a better word, you look down at what's ahead and go, wow. It's very, very fast, and it's very, very up and down, I would say. That's why it's important to have that vision in your head of where you want to be, what kind of business you want to be, and how to keep track of that year on year. If you go into it sort of unprepared, then yeah, the industry will sort of chew you up and spit you back out. So, what do you need to get there, and who do you need to get there are 2 very big questions. So this is your wider team. It's not necessarily bringing in someone in at 100 grand a year. You'll probably have a network of people that will work for your subcontractors. You might also get people that will come in and work for pennies, but they might get some sort of share options out of it as well. So that's really good for sort of businesses. These are questions that your investors are going to ask, and you need to be confident in how you're going to spend their money. It's a big responsibility that they're giving up you, potentially a lot of money there. Dave, do you want to do your little orbit thing you like to do?
I'm gonna do a drawing. I'm gonna go off camera. Sorry, camera. So a business plan doesn't. Back in the olden days, a business plan was an 80-page document that you spent months and months and months putting together, and then by the time you finished it, it was out of date, and it went on the shelf. You got 99% of it, and you just went off and did what you want. Anyway, and there's no point producing an 80-page business plan anymore. Nobody will read it. Nobody will have the slightest bit of interest in the minutiae in there. It's make things kind of succinct. And the best place to start is a 1-page diagram for it. So there's a technique called the Olmec Technique, where you start in the middle of a circle, and that's today. And then we've got, someone told me that looked like a nipple the last time I threw that. More diagrams. You either go from today to 1 year ahead, 3 years ahead, 5 years ahead, or 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, depending if you want a 3 or 5 year plan. Then think, okay, where am I at today, and what are the important things to me and my business? What do I want to develop in my business? What am I working with? What are the important inputs and outputs for my business? It might be profit. So what is it today? What do I want it to be in 1 year's time? What do I want it to be in 3 years' time? What do I want it to be in 5 years' time? It might be work-life balance. I'm working 26 hours a day today. I want to be working 22 hours a day by then. I want to be working 8 hours a day by then. I actually want to be working part-time by that stage. It might be your product or service. I've got this now, but what am I going to develop along my product line or service line? How am I going to still remain profitable and relevant and have stuff to sell in 5 years' time? Bear in mind the markets will continue changing, whatever market you're in. It might be related with that. Customers. Yeah, you might have your marketing techniques. There is an R there, I promise. Which might evolve over time. If you're customers evolve, so that you're marketing to different people. I understand you've already run the marketing workshop, correct?
Yes.
Yes, brilliant. To go with profit and to go with your work-life balance, you might have your own remuneration. Remember, at the end of the day, the business is a vehicle to give you what you want. It's your business, you know, make it work for you, not the other way around. So how does that work? How much you're getting now? How much you want in a year's time, in 2 years' time, in 5 years' time? So all these things, just think holistically. What's important to you? Do 6, 8, 10 spokes, and just literally work out on each of these intersections what you want that to be. Yeah. Be aspirational. You know, nothing's gone wrong yet. No, there's no kind of barriers. What do you want it to be? Then once you've got that, you can then start to go away and analyse and say, well, in 3 years' time, if I want that much profit, I need this much turnover, I need this many customers, I need this kind of pricing strategy maybe. You can start to introduce some realism into it, start to compare different components around to see if they're kind of complementary to each other or if they're contradictory to each other. Sometimes there's a bit of give and take in there. It starts to make you think about the realities of running and developing a business. And based on that, you can then start getting some words on a bit of paper around it. Okay.
Sweet. Like I say, we are chartered accountants, we are going to touch on a bit of this stuff. There is a lot of compliance involved in running a business, and the best way to keep on track of it is a good forecast. It's almost like a roadmap to keep you in check. I am going to apologise in advance for this next slide. It's a little bit outdated. I'm not going to run through it all in detail. It's just to try and highlight how many touch points you have with HMRC, Companies House. Perhaps there's other